So I will go ahead and get started. Thank you. Who knows how many people will join? More than I thought already. But I wanted to tee this up a little bit by saying that obviously we're in extraordinary times, and I think my hope in doing these Instagram videos is multi-purpose, to convey information to you about what we're doing. Really what I was hoping is that it would give people an opportunity to ask questions, and I promise I'm never going to out anybody. I won't mention anyone's name, and I can pretty much guarantee that whatever questions you're having are shared by everybody. And I've also been aggravated, as maybe some of you have been, at the people that come on CNBC every segment and offer sweeping opinions about things that cannot possibly be knowable. And as we've always said, we have ultimate accountability to you, and just want to make sure that we are never in a position where we're hard to reach and trying to avoid what obviously are catastrophic, unplanned times that we're living in. So if anybody does have a question specifically, if you can just type it in, I will read it. And as I said, keep your question anonymous. But I wanted to, this is definitely not going to be a gloom and doom exercise. We have plenty of that. We can all turn on the TV and get right into that every second, as we're probably all going to do when this is over. But I was thinking a lot over this morning and the last couple days about this, because obviously it's a little nerve-wracking for me. I've never done it before, but I do feel an enormous sense of gratitude and pride and appreciation for the people of Mirador, for our clients first and foremost. I mean, the amount of human compassion that has been offered to me personally, but to other people in the firm, has just been unbelievable and humbling and breathtaking. And I'm so proud to be associated with all of you. It's interesting. You all have a lot more in common than you know, and there are a lot more of you that know each other but don't know that you're connected to me. And it's really interesting because I think this is really driving a sense of community, and I think obviously the American spirit is going to be tested and will continue to be. But I hope that, as in prior crises and stress points, that we do take the opportunity to come together and understand the immense amount of pain that is just rippling through everything. And so anyway, I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know. I do want to offer a small green shoot, which is obviously if you turn on the TV, you can see the markets are down. But if you can see on this view, we're not. So that's not, I'm not trying to take any glory in that we're not. But what I'm saying is, it is a reason to reflect on why we do it the way we do it, why we spend the time and the work and have the people involved with looking at companies and understanding how the world is always changing, and trying to be invested in some of the things that hopefully will lead us out of this. I personally am trying to take the perspective that in 3 months, looking back to now, things are going to look and feel different. Now, obviously, it could be worse. Let's hope it's not. Let's hope it's better. And let's hope that we're looking a little more like perhaps, coming out. And I think some of the steps we're taking now are trying to ensure that that is, in fact, what we're going to see in 3 months. But even all this week, there have been moves that have been made for all of you, and I think most of you see that on a daily basis. But this would be a good place to ask why we're doing things the way we're doing them. But so I'm going to offer just one piece of explanation for what happened yesterday. So depending on the particular strategy that you own, long view over here, aggressive here, we have always been a big believer in having outs at all times. It was interesting, even just a couple of short months ago, when I said in one of the videos we had been sort of resisting the certain pull to become even more aggressive, and not to wag our finger or anything of the sort, but I try to underscore that outs is always important. So what we're always also trying to find is when everybody's on the same side of the bus. And so why we are easing out of some of the things that are designed only to protect us, and did that a little bit yesterday, is because it's so easy to go dark on what's happening, and it's so easy to draw a straight line to zero for everything. And the reality is that's probably not what happens. And so at the point of maximum pessimism or confusion or fear or sadness, then the proper position isn't maximum protection. It's something moving back the other direction. So the good news on that screen today really has to do with corporate bonds. Corporate bonds has been the sort of lesser discussed epicenter of savage illiquidity, that everyone's desire to sell anything at any cost and get out. And so that is understandable for sure, but it's in all likelihood, the case that everything goes to zero by the end of this year is extremely irrationally hard to fathom. I think I said that right. So anyhow, I think the government is now understanding and reacting more urgently to unclog the funding challenges that are taking place. We've taken steps, as you've seen, to start to add things that are now a part of our life for a long time, right? And we've all and some people on this video urged me to do this even sooner. When we're in the 1,000+ daily moves, sort of hard to get aggressive about anything on the long side. And so, I think that there will be time to get into these things. I do believe that the world is going to look different. The companies that are going to be leading us out of this is probably going to be a different batch than we had in the in the financial crisis or 9/11 or tech wreck world. Some of those will probably be the ones. But whatever they are, we have the ability to adapt and to add them, and that's, I think, one of the strengths of our system. So I would like to do this on a regular interval, and I think Tuesdays and Fridays is a good way to approach it, because I think Mondays, for the foreseeable future, we're going to get a feel for how the week's going to go, and then Fridays is can be kind of a recap of what has happened. I really I'm never going to be saying things that I think are hyperbolic or throwing my opinions out about this or that. It's far too serious of a time to hear my opinions about anything of the sort. We actually have to fly this plane, into the future, and we will do that. And so we've unfortunately made it through a couple crises, and I think in the fullness of time, this will pass. So we have to be prepared for our life and whatever that looks like in the next decade or two, because we've all got to play for at least that long, or I hope we do. So I don't know. So what I would say in conclusion for this little first chat is text me a question or email me a question, or I think the most important message that I have is we are completely open and can do anything that we could do a week ago, and the firm has been absolutely unbelievable in terms of everybody's dedication and response to all this. And I'm looking around because most of you know Audrey's here, and Daniel's here, and nobody needs to be here, and we're all more than ample distance from each other, as we will continue to be. We're taking it very seriously, as I hope you are, and I know that whatever is ahead of us, some part of our community will be stronger coming through this. And it's really interesting. I'll share this, even though maybe it's tacky. I got a reach out, a couple, I should say, from some potential new clients to the firm. And my response was heartfelt when I said, I don't have capacity for anybody but our clients. This is my family. You guys are my family, and all of you who work here and who have literally been with us through more than 2 crises now, we consider you our family. And so you will be our number 1 priority and our only responsibility until we can all take a step back from the brink and get on to something a little more positive. So I'm actually going to leave it there for now because I don't want this to be more rambly than it already has been, but I appreciate it, and we're going to keep doing it. And if it's not useful, then you don't have to tune in, but if it is, I'll look forward to seeing you. It already made me feel better to see some of the waves and thumbs up of the people on the whatever we call this thing, the Instagram Live. So I'll leave it there for now. Thanks again. Be well, be safe, and take care of each other, and I'll talk to you soon.